Intermittent fasting. It's one of the most popular diets in the world for good reason too, because it is simple, it is effective, and it works with your body, not against it. This way of eating has been practiced for thousands of years, and only recently has it become trendy and mainstream. And just like any other diet, there are people who swear by intermittent fasting and others who say it's not for them. But in reality, this way of eating can be adapted to fit anyone's lifestyle, and that's exactly why intermittent fasting is so amazing. In fact, there are more than a dozen different methods to do intermittent fasting, and one of them is guaranteed to work for you. You don't need to follow a strict meal plan or count calories. You don't need expensive supplements or to buy expensive foods. And you certainly don't need to starve yourself. All you need to do is simply change the times that you eat your regular meals. And doing this alone will lead to fat loss, improved mental clarity, increased energy levels, and many other benefits. So in this video, we're going to explore the 12 different methods to do intermittent fasting, the benefits that you'll experience from practicing IF, and how to adapt it to your own personal preferences. Just stay tuned until the end of this video, where I'll show you how to take intermittent fasting to the next level with the use of an herbal supplement. First up, let's start off with what intermittent fasting actually is and how it can benefit your health and your body composition. Essentially, it's a time-restricted diet, meaning that you cycle between periods of eating and fasting. During the eating periods, you can enjoy all of your favorite foods, but during the fasting periods, you abstain from food. Now, technically, you can still drink things like water, coffee, and tea, but you're not allowed to consume anything with calories during these times. There are many ways to structure these cycles, which I'll get into in just a second. But before we do that, you should know that when done correctly, intermittent fasting can help you lose weight and keep it off. That's because research shows that restricting your eating window can lead to an automatic reduction in calorie intake. A great example of this is a study that showed overweight men reduced their calorie intake by 354 calories per day just by reducing their eating window to 6 hours per day, which led to fat loss over the course of 6 weeks without even tracking calories or changing the types of foods they ate. Not only that, but by reducing the amount of time that you spend eating throughout the day, you'll also spend less time digesting, which will allow you to feel more energized and more awake. In fact, studies show that intermittent fasting can boost energy levels, exercise performance, and brain function due to the production of new brain cells and enhanced cognitive ability. And although this may sound counterintuitive, intermittent fasting actually helps you eat more of the foods that you enjoy. This is because instead of feeling hungry throughout the day from snacking mindlessly, intermittent fasting helps you push through those cravings so that you can wait until meal times to eat the foods that you really want. Plus, since you'll only be eating during a certain window of time, you'll have a greater appreciation for the foods that you enjoy, and you won't waste those meals on junk foods. And if that wasn't enough, intermittent fasting also helps preserve muscle mass while losing body fat, especially when combined with strength training. For example, a study in overweight young women showed that after 8 weeks of combining intermittent fasting with resistance training, participants were able to gain nearly 2 pounds of lean muscle while dropping almost 10 pounds of body fat. Now that you understand how beneficial intermittent fasting can be, let's go over some of the best methods to practice IF. First up is the 16/8 method. This is the most popular form of intermittent fasting, and it involves fasting for 16 hours each day while restricting your eating to an 8-hour window. For example, you could choose to eat between the hours of 12 p.m. to 8 p.m., which means that your first meal would be lunch, followed by dinner later in the evening. Or you can choose to eat between the hours of 6 p.m. to 2 a.m., which means that your first meal would be dinner, followed by a late-night snack or even dessert. This method is quite easy to follow, and it can be adapted to fit around your work schedule. The 16/8 method is also backed by scientific evidence. In fact, one study showed that it can lead to fat loss, improved insulin sensitivity, and reduced inflammation. Next up is the 5/2 diet. This method of intermittent fasting involves eating normally for 5 days a week and restricting your calories for 2 days, usually Monday and Friday. On the 2 low-calorie days, you'll want to reduce your intake to 25% of your total daily calories. So if you normally consume 2,000 calories per day, you'll only have 500 calories on those 2 days. It's important to note that although this method is quite effective at promoting fat loss, it's not ideal for beginners. That's because restricting calories for 2 days a week can be challenging, and it can also lead to nutrient deficiencies if not done correctly. Another similar approach to the 5/2 diet is the 48-hour fast. As the name suggests, this method involves fasting for 48 hours, and you can do this once or twice per week. When you're first starting out, it's recommended to break your fast with a small meal of complex carbohydrates and protein. Then, after that, you can eat normally. If you choose to do 2 48-hour fasts per week, it's recommended to space them out so you have regular eating days in between. The next 3 methods of intermittent fasting are much more aggressive, and they should only be attempted by experienced practitioners. First up is the Eat-Stop-Eat method. This method involves fasting for 24 hours, 1 or 2 times per week. To make it easier, you can decide to begin your fast at the same time each week, such as Sunday evenings. After 24 hours, you can break your fast with any meal of your choice. Even though this method can lead to significant fat loss, it's important to listen to your body and take a break if you experience any negative side effects. Next up is the 3-day water fast. As the name suggests, you can do this method 1 or 2 times per week, and it involves consuming nothing but water for 3 full days. Although this method can be extremely effective, it's not suitable for everyone. Therefore, you should consult with your doctor before attempting it. Finally, last but not least, is the warrior diet. Coined by author Ori Hofi, the warrior diet is the most extreme form of intermittent fasting, and it consists of a 6-day eating period followed by a 20-hour blackout period. During the eating phase, you can eat up to 200 grams of fruits and vegetables, plus an unlimited amount of lean proteins. During the 20-hour blackout period, however, you can only consume 1 serving of food every 4 hours. Even though the warrior diet can be effective, it's also very restrictive, and it's not suitable for most people. Therefore, it should only be attempted by experienced practitioners. So now that you know the different methods of intermittent fasting, it's time to put them to the test. If you want to maximize the effectiveness of intermittent fasting, I recommend starting with the 16/8 method. Stick with that for at least a few weeks and make sure that you're getting enough protein and other essential nutrients. Once you've mastered the 16/8 method, you can move on to more advanced methods like the 5/2 diet or the 48-hour fast. Of course, you should always listen to your body and take breaks when needed. If you experience any negative side effects, consider taking intermittent fasting to the next level with the use of a herbal supplement like testofen. Testofen is a natural supplement derived from fenugreek, and it's been shown to reduce body fat and increase lean muscle mass. When combined with intermittent fasting, testofen can help you reach your fitness goals even faster. To take intermittent fasting to the next level, simply add 1 scoop of testofen to 4 ounces of water and mix well. Drink this before each of your meals during your eating window. Doing this will help you feel full so that you can eat less, and it will also help stimulate muscle growth. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe to our channel for more videos like this one.